Anunnaki, the Golden Age. As the Anunnaki mothership glided into Earth's orbit, its engines still glowing hot from its long journey, a behemoth of a structure, its mass casting a looming shadow over the planet below, without a moment's hesitation, the mothership unleashed a flurry of lasers, beams of light so intense and focused that they cut through the Earth's atmosphere like swords of fire. Simultaneously, the air around the planet thickened with the arrival of millions of silver probes released from the mothership in a deluge that darkened the sky. These spheres, cold and metallic, descended upon the Earth with a purpose. As they plunged toward the planet, their numbers seemed endless, a metallic swarm of intent. The sky ablaze with the light of alien lasers, the air filled with the whir of machines from another world. An invasion on a scale never before imagined unfolded with terrifying speed and efficiency. Earth laid helplessly under Anunnaki's technological might. The skies were alight with laser scan activity, each probe moving with precision, mapping, scanning, and analyzing every inch of the planet's surface. The mission was aggressive in its scope and execution, covering the globe in a grid of technological might. Mesopotamia, with its lush river valleys and fertile lands, became the focus of this extraordinary survey. The probes swarmed over the region, their sensors gathering data, mapping resources and evaluating conditions with an efficiency that belied their inorganic nature. As quickly as it had begun, the onslaught ceased. The probes, having completed their survey, returned to the mothership in a coordinated ballet of technology and purpose. The lasers dimmed, and the skies cleared, leaving behind a planet untouched but fully mapped by the Anunnaki's advanced tools. It was then, in the silence that followed the storm, there stood Anu, the supreme ruler. Anu's vision for Earth was grandiose, seeing it as a crucial step in securing the future of his people. His decisions were final. Next to them was Enlil, second to Anu, the master of the air and lord of command. His role in the descent to Earth was pivotal, overseeing the deployment and ensuring that the strategic objectives of the Anunnaki were met with unwavering precision. Enlil's authority was unquestioned. Then stood Enki, the custodian of water and life. Enki's intellect and understanding of the natural world were unparalleled. His contribution to the Anunnaki's mission on Earth was vital, providing the necessary insight into Earth's ecosystems and the best ways to integrate Anunnaki structures into the existing landscape. Enki's foresight and ingenuity were crucial in the construction of Eridu and the establishment of a sustainable presence on Earth. As the large ship prepared for its descent, the Trinity, along with the ship's captain, stood, watching the preparations unfold. The captain, a seasoned navigator of the stars, understood the significance of this moment. With the leader's plans set into motion and the future of their presence on Earth entrusted to the capable hands of Enki and his team, the captain turned to the control panel. "Drop it and take us home," he commanded, with a sense of finality and a hint of anticipation for the journey back to Nibiru. The release mechanism activated, and the large ship began its descent towards the fertile lands of Mesopotamia. As the ship dropped away, the mothership adjusted its bearings and prepared for the long journey back to Nibiru. In the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, under the watchful guidance of Enki, Eridu rose from the untamed earth. This city, the first of its kind, was to be a symbol of their power and a hub for their operations on Earth. The construction of Eridu was a monumental task, orchestrated by Enki, who wielded agriculture and hydrology to lay the foundations of what would become a cornerstone of civilization. Eridu's construction commenced with the delineation of its boundaries, a task entrusted to the Igigi. These beings, although lesser in stature than the Anunnaki, possessed skills and strengths that were pivotal in the physical tasks of building. Under the relentless sun, they toiled, moving earth and stone, guided by Enki's precise instructions. The city was designed to be both functional and magnificent, a reflection of the divine essence of its creators. Central to its layout was the palace, a structure that was to serve as the heart of Eridu and a residence for the leadership. The palace of Eridu was an architectural marvel, Unmatched in its elegance and grandeur, it rose majestically from the center of the city, its towering facade reflecting the golden hues of the Mesopotamian sun. The entrance was flanked by imposing statues of the Anunnaki, carved from the finest stone, their eyes set forward, eternally watching over the city's inhabitants. Upon entering the palace, one would be greeted by a vast atrium, its ceiling reaching towards the heavens, adorned with intricate murals depicting the stars and planets. The floors were laid with polished stones, each piece interlocking perfectly with the next, creating a mosaic of the river, Tigris, and Euphrates. At the very heart of the palace of Eridu, surrounded by the unparalleled beauty of its architectural marvels and the serene harmony of its gardens, was the throne room. The room was a testament to the grandeur and majesty of the Anunnaki, designed to inspire awe and reverence in all who entered its hallowed bounds. The room itself was vast, its proportions celestial, with a ceiling that arched high above, mimicking the vault of the heavens. The walls, adorned with gold and lapis lazuli, shimmered in the light, depicting scenes of the Anunnaki's journey from Nibiru to Earth. Light filtered in through tall, slender windows, casting an ethereal glow that danced across the surfaces, highlighting the intricate craftsmanship. At the center of this magnificent chamber stood the throne itself, an object so resplendent and imbued with power that it seemed an entity unto itself. Crafted from a single massive block of lapis lazuli, the throne was a deep celestial blue, veined with lines of gold that glinted like stars. Its surface was polished to a mirror sheen. The design of the throne was both elegant and imposing, with a high back that rose like a cresting wave, adorned with carved images. The seat was wide and deep, cushioned with fabrics woven from the finest silks brought from distant planets, dyed in colors that no earthly source could provide. Around the base of the throne, a frieze depicted the creatures of the earth, sea, and sky, a tribute to Enki's domain over the elements and his role as the bringer of civilization. Flanking the throne, two massive statues, symbols of strength and protection, stood as silent guardians. Their eyes were set with precious stones that caught the light, imbuing them with a lifelike quality. Above the throne, suspended from the ceiling, hung an intricate chandelier of gold and crystal fashioned to represent the solar system. Each planet, a gemstone of differing hue and brilliance, orbited around a central sun of glowing amber, casting a soft, otherworldly light upon the throne and its occupant. The throne room of Eridu was a symbol of the Anunnaki's authority. It was here that Enki would sit in judgment, dispense wisdom, and guide the destiny of Eridu. The throne and the room that housed it were not just the center of power, but the heart of a civilization that would forever change the course of history. Beneath the surface of the earth, in the deep veins where gold gleamed in the dim light, the Igigi toiled. These beings faced the brunt of the harsh conditions underground. The mines, a labyrinth of tunnels and caverns, were stifling, the air thick with dust and the heat unbearable. The work was back-breaking as the Igigi chipped away at the rock, extracting the precious ore. The significance of the gold was a crucial component in the Anunnaki's technological endeavors to save their home planet. Each shipment of gold sent back to Nibiru carried with it the hopes of a civilization fighting for survival against environmental collapse. The operations were overseen by Anunnaki taskmasters. Their methods were often ruthless, driven by the urgency of their quest and the unforgiving nature of their home world's plight. Above ground, the city of Eridu stood in stark contrast to the grim reality of the mines. It was a marvel of Anunnaki engineering and design, a testament to their advanced knowledge and aesthetic sensibilities. Yet, even here, the division of labor was evident. The Anunnaki, ensconced in their palatial dwellings and engaged in high-minded pursuits, rarely mingled with the Igigi burgeoning population that had begun to form around the fringes of their city. The role of the Anunnaki was clear. They were the rulers and the undisputed masters of the Igigi. For the Igigi who served under them, life was a constant struggle. The divide between them and their celestial overlords was vast, marked not only by the work they performed, but by the conditions in which they lived. The Igigi, despite their pivotal role in the Anunnaki's mission, were viewed as expendable, their welfare secondary to the overarching goals of the mission. Tensions inevitably rose, fueled by the grueling work, the harsh conditions, and the ever-present divide between the Anunnaki and their laborers. Whispers of dissent began to spread through the ranks of the Igigi. The city of Eridu, for all its beauty and grandeur, became a focal point for the growing unrest, a symbol of the inequality that defined the Anunnaki's rule on Earth. Incidents of defiance, initially isolated and quickly suppressed, began to occur with alarming frequency. The Igigi, driven to desperation, started to sabotage the mining operations, hiding caches of gold, damaging equipment, and in some cases, directly confronting their overseers. These acts of rebellion were met with swift and brutal retribution. The Golden Mission, for all its achievements and advancements, had sown the seeds of discord, setting the stage for a conflict that would forever alter the course of Earth's history. The outbreak of rebellion was like a spark in a powder keg. The Igigi, leveraging their superior numbers, launched coordinated assaults across Eridu and its surrounding territories. They swarmed Anunnaki outposts and checkpoints, overwhelming the defenders through sheer force of will and waves of bodies. The streets of Eridu, once serene and majestic, became arenas of chaos and conflict as the Igigi rebels poured forth, their cries of rage and defiance echoing off the ancient stone. The Anunnaki, for all their advanced weaponry and tactical acumen, found themselves reeling under the onslaught. Aerial crafts, the pride of the Anunnaki armada, were swarmed before they could take to the air, their hulls swarmed by rebels who used primitive but effective tools to breach and overrun them. Energy weapons cut swathes through Igigi ranks. Rebels who had learned to anticipate and counter these tactics used their own bodies to absorb the blasts, allowing the second line of the Igigi to charge unchallenged, devastating their ranks with ease. Facing an unprecedented challenge to their dominion, Enki, Anu, and Enlil turned to the ultimate weapon in their arsenal, the tablets of destiny. Amidst the turmoil, with the Igigi rebels breaching the very heart of Eridu, they unleashed the cataclysmic power of the tablets. From there, positioned within the sanctum of the palace, they called forth an energy blast of unimaginable potency. This energy wave, a torrent of divine fury, radiated outward from the epicenter, cutting through the ranks of the Igigi with ruthless efficiency. It was as if the sun had descended. A blast of pure, unbridled energy erupted from the heart of the palace, a manifestation of divine power. This surge of force tore through the city like a tempest, its radiance blinding, its heat unbearable. Buildings that had stood as testaments to the Anunnaki's architectural prowess crumbled into dust, their stones unable to withstand the fury of the blast. The lush gardens of Eridu, once vibrant with alien flora, were scorched beyond recognition. Their beauty turned to ash in an instant. The air itself seemed to warp and twist under the pressure of the wave, carrying the echoes of destruction to the farthest corners of the city. The ground quaked as if protesting the violence inflicted upon it, opening fissures that swallowed streets and structures whole. In the aftermath, Eridu lay in ruins, its glory ravaged, a stark testament to the terrifying power of the Tablets of Destiny. In the immediate aftermath of the blast, by the Triad's commands, the palace defense systems awakened and security systems came online. Turrets, shield barriers, and automated drones deployed throughout the city, targeting any remnants of the Igigi forces with lethal precision. The skies above Eridu, once filled with the smoke of battle, now buzzed with the cold, unfeeling machines of the Anunnaki, ensuring that no spark of rebellion could survive. The Igigi rebellion, marked by its fierce beginnings, ended in silence. The streets of Eridu, littered with the remnants of the conflict, bore witness to the devastating power of the Anunnaki and the tragic futility of rebellion. While the Anunnaki's rule was secured, the cost was etched in the ruins of the city and the extinguished hopes of the Igigi. In the aftermath, Eridu would rebuild. Enlil points out they have no workforce now. Enki snickers. with a touch of pride, announces I have that problem covered. As the crimson hues of dusk melded with the twilight, our journey through the ancient landscapes of Mesopotamia drew to a close, leaving us on the precipice of understanding the divine machinations that had shaped the destiny of the Anunnaki, woven from the threads of celestial intrigue and earthly endeavors, had revealed to us a cosmic battle, a divine wisdom. And yet, as we stood amidst the echoes of these narratives, it became evident that our exploration was far from complete. The horizon, burning with the promise of dawn, whispered of untold stories, hidden truths awaiting to be unearthed in this continuing saga of the Anunnaki Odyssey. This is not goodbye, nor the end. Until the story continues, my friends. B.N.Rocker.